Hi guys! So next week the Faith in the Future World Tour starts, and since I've been talking a bit recently on this channel about like my ideal set list and like songs that I wish would be on the set list, I decided to make this video to talk more about that with you guys. And yeah, that's basically what this video is going to be. So basically in this video I'm going to be designing my dream set list for the Faith in the Future World Tour. So for the first part of this video I'm just going to be like listing all of the songs that I hope will be on the set list. Then in the second part I'm going to do like a full like set list design, like the actual positions of each song, like where I will put them in the set list. So yeah, that's how this video is going to work. So I'm going to go like by album or like type of song to list these songs to start off with. I'm going to include songs from Walls, songs from Faith in the Future, unreleased songs that might appear on the set list, and also One Direction songs that Louis might play. So yeah, first we're going to start with the songs from Walls that I hope will be on the set list. So first up, obviously, Kill My Mind. I mean, it's a classic. It's obviously got to be on the set list because, like, I mean, the whole thing of like Louis jumping into the crowd and like running along the barrier, like that's just like such an important part of a Louis gig, and like Louis loves that also. Like he just like lives for running across the barrier at his gigs. So honestly, like Kill My Mind has to be on there. And then also obviously We Made It. I mean, that song's taken on like a whole new meaning now with like everything Louis been through with like getting the #1 for Faith in the Future and like achieving that without like any promotion, and also like all of those voices coming out and all the things that we know now about everything he's been through. Like we know even more about him now than we did before, and like that time in his life, and, like the things that he's been through to like get where he is now. So like We Made It has like taken on a new meaning. Like to us now it's about like our relationship with Louis and his relationship with us, like that I need you and you need me, like that, like it links back to that. And like this song is just like an anthem for Louis now. Like I feel like singing this song live at Louis gigs is like it's just such a statement. Like we made it, underestimated and always underrated. Like Louis is always underestimated and underrated, but like he's got to where he is now, and like that's just so powerful. Imagine hearing this song on the Faith in the Future World Tour. Like it's gonna literally, like it's literally just gonna be such a moment. Also Walls, I'd love to see Walls on the set list as well. I mean, like I think it'll probably be on the set list because I know that like Louis loves that song himself, and like also the fact that it samples Acquiesce by Oasis, like the fact that Noel Gallagher like has a songwriting credit on this because of that. I feel like just that alone tells us like how much this song means to Louis, and like he would probably still keep it on the set list because of that. So it's just like a really good anthemic song. Like it would just be so good to like sing along to it live. I mean, I've never like seen Louis before. I didn't go to the Louis Tomlinson World Tour, the tour for Walls. I'm glad that like I hope I'll be able to go to the Faith in the Future World Tour when Louis comes to Manchester in November, because like it would just be a dream to see him live. I mean, I love him so much, and like I love Faith in the Future so much, so yeah, I really hope I can go to the tour. Yeah, it'd be really fun to sing along to Walls live. And like if you guys have been to see Louis before, comment below and like tell me like what's your favourite song to hear live at his gigs. Also Two of Us, like I think that's definitely going to be on the set list, considering like it's about Louis' mum, and like that song is so meaningful to him, and like it's always like really emotional for the fans to hear it live as well. So I think like Louis would definitely keep Two of Us on the set list to like just like in memory of his mum, like just because it's just a really beautiful song and like it deserves to be on the set list. Also I think that Only the Brave might be on the set list because like that song means so much to so many Louis, like it's a lot of people's like absolute favourite Louis song, so like it probably will end up on the set list. It's just a good fan favourite. Also personally I would really love to see Don't Let It Break Your Heart or Defenseless on the set list. I mean those are like two of my absolute favourite songs on Walls personally. Like I love them both so much. I mean like Defenseless, like it's so like sort of delicate and like it's such like an emotional like vulnerable sort of song, but like Louis' high notes in it, like it would just be a dream to hear it live. Like it's such a beautiful song. The part where he sings I'm too tired to be tough, I just want to be loved by you, and like his voice like goes high in that part, like that bit always gets to me. Also I love Don't Let It Break Your Heart so much. Like it's such like an inspirational song. It's so uplifting, like the message like whatever tears you apart, don't let it break your heart. And the lyric, what hurts you is gonna pass, you'll have learnt from it when it comes back. Like, I love that line so much. It'd just be really nice to be able to see, it'd just be really nice to be able to sing those lyrics back to Louis in like a live setting. Now we're on to songs from Faith in the Future that I would love to hear live, and Louis said like that he'll probably play like this whole album live on tour, so like maybe we'll get the full album from start to end on the tour, but like these are just like my absolute favourite songs that like I would love to see on the set list personally. So obviously first we're going to start at the beginning with The Greatest. Like, we know this is probably definitely the opener for the tour. Like, I love The Greatest so much. Like, I think it's such a good album opener, and it's going to be like such a good tour opener as well. Like, just the heavy synth noises, like I love this song so much. Like, it's just like right up my street. It's my kind of song, and like it'll sound so good live, like all the heavy sounds like in an arena or a stadium. Also obviously the fan favourite, Written All Over Your Face. Like, everyone loves this song so much, and like it's just so good, it's so fun. I mean, I love this song a lot as well. Like, this is probably like my 4th or 5th favourite song on Faith in the Future. Like, I listen to this song so much, it's probably like one of my most played Spotify songs. And obviously like we're all looking forward to hearing the Hey Babe part on tour. Like, imagine you're in the arena and you just hear the intro to Written All Over Your Face, and like you're just preparing yourself mentally to hear Louis say Hey Babe to you in real life. Like, none of us are ready for that. Like, also obviously Bigger Than Me, the song which All of Those Voices takes its name from. We're obviously going to get this on the set list because like it's the lead single of Faith in the Future, but yeah, it's just an amazing like power ballad, and like it's such a big statement. And like I feel like Louis says a lot of things in this song that like he's been wanting to say for a while, so it'd be like, really like meaningful for him to sing this on tour. Also obviously Out of My System, like this song, I feel like people might actually like start moshing to this song. Like, everyone's just gonna go crazy to it. Also then my 3 favourite songs on the album, the S Trilogy, Saturday's Silver Tongue, and She's Beauty We Are World Class. Like, Saturday's obviously like it's going to be amazing live, it's going to be so beautiful, like all the strings and everything, it's just going to be like we're all going to be ascending basically. Silver Tongue's just a banger, like we're all going to be dancing and screaming the I Don't Feel Like Going Home part back to Louis. Like, we're all, like this song is just going to be such a good time on tour. And She Is Beauty, obviously my favourite song on Faith in the Future, and one of my favourite songs ever. Like, the second I hear this on tour, if I end up being able to go to tour, like my soul will just leave my body. Like, also That's the Way Love Goes as well. Like, that's just such another like really like sort of delicate, beautiful song, and like Louis' vocals on that song are so like soft. Like, it's just a really cute song, and like I just love it so much, and I would just like love to hear this song live. Also Chicago, my other absolute favourite song on Faith in the Future. Like, it's just such an incredible like big dramatic power ballad. Like, this song would just like sound so good in the arena. Like, everyone would just be screaming all the lyrics, like everyone would just be singing along to it all the way through, and it'd just be really like emotional as well. I feel like I would be crying hearing Chicago live. It's just a great song. Like, it's just so dramatic, like it's just so like grand and dramatic. Like, I love it so much. And like also the fan favourite, Angels Fly. I mean, like personally Angels Fly isn't like it's not one of my absolute favourites, but like I feel like it is still a really good song. It's definitely in my top 10. I know a lot of people would love to hear this song live, and like I would too. I mean, like, it's another one that's just like a really good anthem. It's a good sing-along, so I'd love to hear this song live. Now for the unreleased songs that I'd like to hear on tour, I'd love to hear a copy of a copy of a copy, obviously, because like it's a classic live Louis song. I mean it's like one of his absolute best written songs, and everyone loves it. He always performs it on tour, so yeah, I think we'll probably get a copy of a copy of a copy. I would also really love to hear Holiday. Like, that's one of my absolute favourite like unreleased Louis songs. Like, I don't think like he would play this on tour really. Like, if he does, I'll be very pleasantly surprised. But I love Holiday so much. It's one of my absolute favourite unreleased Louis songs. To me, it just feels like a Fratellis song. Like, when I was younger, like if you know the indie band The Fratellis, like they're one of my favourite bands. Like, when I was younger, I used to be like absolutely obsessed with the Fratellis album Costello Music. It was like one of my absolute favourite albums as a kid, even though that album's like really like inappropriate for kids actually, with like all the swearing and like stuff. And Holiday really reminds me of like the Fratellis music and like their genre of music, so like that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. It reminds me of like my childhood music that I used to listen to and that I still listen to now. I also think it would be really fun to hear Paradise live as well. That's also like a really fun like rock song, and like I just love it so much, and like the sentiment of it as well, like paradise is in your own mind, like I feel like that sentiment about like achieving things like yourself would fit in really well with the set list as well. Now I'm going to talk about like One Direction songs that I hope Louis will perform, and like personally, like I don't like mind too much if like there's not a One Direction cover this time. Like I would like it, I'd enjoy it because it's like, yay, nostalgia, like that reminds me of my childhood as well. But like I'm not like desperate for a One Direction cover. But like if there were One Direction covers on the set list, I would like to hear Little Black Dress or like the rock version of Night Changes, because those are two like really good like rock type songs that like really fit in well with Louis' set list. But also like even though Louis didn't write Drag Me Down, like I like it as part of his set list because like it fits really well with songs like We Made It and like The Greatest, like in like sort of like the lyrical theme of those songs, because like Drag Me Down is about like basically not letting anyone drag you down, so like it fits like really well because of that with like Louis' lyrics and like the statement that he's trying to make with his songs. So I like that the sentiment like goes with that, so like I would quite like to hear Drag Me Down. So yeah, that's all of the songs that I'd like to hear on the Faith in the Future World Tour. So I'm going to tell you guys my set list now of like the order that I would put these songs in. So to compile this, I've looked at like Setlist FM and looked at like the number of songs that Louis usually plays on his tours, and I've like counted the numbers of songs like from each album, like the amount of like One Direction covers he usually does, the amount of like unreleased songs. Like I've adjusted that a little bit to fit in with like how I think the Faith in the Future tour is going to be. So I'm just going to list like the songs. So here's my set list that I've designed for the Faith in the Future World Tour. So I've got 18 songs here because like I think like because according to Setlist FM, like that's the average like amount of songs that Louis usually plays in a live show. So number one on my set list would be The Greatest because it's an iconic opener, it's going to be iconic. Then number two, I've got Written All Over Your Face. I'm just going to go into that from The Greatest, like how it does on the album, and I feel like that'll be really good. And number three, I put We Made It because it's just like an anthem. It'll get everyone like singing along, everyone like enthusiastic, and like everyone would just be like wanting to sing along to that chorus, so it'd be really good. And then I've got, for the fourth one, like I would have Drag Me Down to like keep like the sort of same sentiment as We Made It, but you could substitute that for like another One Direction cover, so like Drag Me Down or something like that. So like Little Black Dress or like the rock version of Night Changes, like you could have that there, because like those are anthems. Also like if you're like a casual fan and like you've just come with like your friend who's Louis, like if you hear a One Direction song, like it'd just be good for a bit of a sing along, like to get them involved and like get them more like immersed in the concert. Then after that I picked Bigger Than Me at number 5 because like that's just like a good transition from a One Direction song into like a powerful ballad. And then at number 6, Copy of a Copy of a Copy, because I just feel like that's another like, it's kind of rocky but it's also like quite ballady, so it'd go well with Bigger Than Me. And then after that at number 7 I put Out of My System because like going from ballads into like more rocky territory now, like time to mosh basically. And at number 8 I put Chicago to sort of like chill everyone out a bit more, but like keep sort of like the anthemic chorus and like keep the vibes going. And then I put at number 9 like That's the Way Love Goes, but like it could be like any any of like the album tracks from Faith in the Future at this point, like maybe Angels Fly, maybe like could also put Common People here, like one of those like sort of album tracks, like one of the more like chilled songs on the album. Then at number 10 I put Two of Us because I feel like in the middle of the set list is just a nice place to put that song. Like it's emotional, but like if you chilled people out with like That's the Way Love Goes or Angels Fly or something like that, like, it's just a nice place to put Two of Us in the set list, I think, just like somewhere in the middle. Then at number 11 I put Walls because I feel like that would be like a nice transition because like they're from the same album and Walls is kind of like sort of anthemic and emotional as well. Then at number 12 I put like Don't Let It Break Your Heart / Defenseless, like it could be either of those like interchangeably because like both of those are like emotional, but like you can sing along to the chorus as well. Like I said, like they're also anthemic songs. I mean, all of Louis' discography is anthemic really, but like yeah, I feel like those songs would fit good there. And at number 13 I put All This Time, and then number 14 She's Beauty World Class, so you can have like a bit of a dance moment there and like just turn that into like the synthy part of the concert. And then after She's Beauty I put Silver Tongues, and then like Silver Tongues would be like the last song of like the main set, and then Louis would go off stage and like have a bit of a break, and then when he comes back for the encore, begin the encore with Saturdays, and then like my S trilogy are all together in the same part of the concert, except like it's backwards, starting with Choose Beauty and then Silver Tongues and then Saturdays. But yeah, I think it would work still. It's nice to have all the songs in the same part. And then after Saturdays, I would put Only the Brave there. They've got sort of the same vibe, those songs. Like they're both like slow and like chilled, but they're both like kind of like the same kind of intense, like, if you know what I mean. And then after Only the Brave, I put Kill My Mind as like the closing song of the set list, because like Kill My Mind is always like, I feel like it's always going to be like the ending song of a Louis concert, unless like on this tour like Louis decides to put Silver Tongues as like the ending song. I feel like that could happen because like the I Don't Feel Like Going Home part of it. But also like that's what I was thinking while I was making this set list. Like I was thinking like if he put Silver Tongues as like the end song on the main set list rather than like at the end of the encore, like when he sings that I Don't Feel Like Going Home part, like the crowd could sing that to him and then he'll go off stage and then like people won't be going home because like he's going back for the encore. Like I feel like he could do that and make that into a thing. So that was my logic there. So I feel like Kill My Mind will be like the overall like final song of the Louis concert, and then like he'll run along the barrier and like climb into the crowd and like the fans will hug him and everything. Then yeah, like there might be a big like guitar-y outro with all the band sort of like jamming at the end, and then like Louis will leave the stage and then that's the end of the concert. So yeah, that was my like ideal or like dream set list for Louis Tomlinson's Faith in the Future World Tour this year. So as I said, as we all know, like tour starts next week and I can't wait to see what the set list is going to be like and like watch the concert recordings on YouTube of like everything that's happened. Like, so yeah, hopefully I get to see Louis this year, but like he's not coming to the UK until November, so like if I am seeing him, like it's going to be ages away still, but like at least I have like the recordings of everywhere else in the world getting their concerts so I can watch you guys go to them. It's like, imagine I'm there. But yeah, that was my set list that I designed for the tour, so don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to for more music and pop culture content. Bye guys!